the virtuous Sangha out of compassion for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cùng thính đại đức tận tình, vì thứ pháp hội hợp nhất thiết chúng sanh. Thịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư lý khổ đắc lạc, tốc chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Namo Sananto Suchedo Ye Alahudi Samyao Samputo Ye. Namo Tadaktha Toya Daya Alaha De Tamyo Tambo Da Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. About to fathom thus come one true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng she wei miao fa bai jian wan jian nan zao yi. 我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Huineng, Venerable YongHua, Venerable Left-Home people, and all good no advisors Emituofo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa lục tổ và thượng tiên hóa quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. 诸佛菩萨六祖师父上人各位出家人各位善知识阿弥陀佛。Hello everyone, coming to you from Wei Mountain Temple in Rosemead, California. Today is the 16th of May 2021. We are discussing the final chapter of the Sixth Patriarch Sutra. Sorry about that. We just today we also celebrated our Vesak. Actually, the last our three branch temples have been celebrating the Vesak. So it's the first time. Okay, we trying to recover from the pandemic. Thank you, Lord. We didn't have to close our temples. Okay, so it was a beautiful ceremony, and I'm very grateful for the flowers and the work you put into it. Flowers are beautiful. Everything was very well done. So thank you. All right. We are on slide number 85 in this final chapter, the Sixth Patriarch Sutra. And after this, I don't know what we're going to do. Life after the Sixth Patriarch Sutra is so deflating. What else are we going to do? Huh? And it's been so much fun the last year or so, hasn't it? The sutra last year or so has been so enlightening. So I make a deal with you. My Chinese is no good. So if you can find more authentic Sixth Patriarch's teachings and find some form of English translation, give me some ballpark so that I know so that I don't have to look up all the Chinese characters. As long as I know the general neighborhood, I can pinpoint the meaning of the great teacher, what he's trying to say. So we do that. We can I looked into Venerable Huineng's explanation of the Heart Sutra. I liked it, but there's not much else I could add to it. I'm more interested in something else, some other stuff that's available in Chinese that I'm not aware of. So if you can find that, I will consider explaining that, exploring that with you. Okay, if not, then we go into the Flower Adornment Sutra. All right? Okay, we very lucky. We are Wei Yang Chan, so to be able to learn from the Six Patriarchs' teachings is a real luxury. It's a great gift he gave us, and it's no wonder he's one of the greatest patriarchs in the history of Chinese Buddhism. And maybe in the future, I don't know, I heard of Master Ma Zu, Dao Yi. Maybe he'll be great too. I never had the chance to learn much about him. But we are Chan school, so hopefully we can add more Chan knowledge to the Western, in a Western language, instead of just keeping it for the Chinese, who really no longer understand what these Chan teachers are talking about. Okay, so it has to be a combination of their understanding of language and us understanding, thinking we understand the Chan teachings. All right? How is everyone today? Sleepy? Huh? Have a good lunch? All right, 85, Sutra text. In the 7th month of the year, Renzi, the first year of the Taiji and YongHua reigns, 712 AD, the master sent his disciples Xinzhou to build a stupa at Guo Yin Temple.
师于太极元年壬子延和7月，命门人往新州国恩寺建塔。
All right, commentary on 86. So Xinzhou was a master's homeland, and so it's like so they build a pagoda there so that they can put the master's body there after his passing away, and so he decided to have a monument to his name, whereas my late Chinese teacher, he forbade us to build any sort of monument to his name at all. Okay, so each teacher is different. We are too low level, have no wisdom whatsoever to try to second guess why he's doing this. 87, Sutra text. He ordered them to hurry the work, and it was completed by the end of the summer of the following year.
人令促工，次年夏末落成。
Okay, so he decided that he wanted it to be finished, which comes to mind. We have a branch temple in San Jose, and we're not even open yet. It's full. We have not finished remodeling the house next door for the Sangha and for people to stay when they cultivate. And so when I announced to them that, we are Mahayana in Northern California, so we're it. We're Mahayana in Northern California. We're invading Northern California. I've been very polite and patiently waited for 15 years already for them to do something up north. But now conditions arose that we went up there to propagate our style of Mahayana. So I said we miss out on a couple of churches up there, bigger churches up there. But we definitely are looking for bigger place, so that the reason for a big place is it's necessary for the Great Assembly Dharma. Just like here in Wei Mountain Temple, we need a lot of people together. This is how one of the best ways to learn Mahayana and train in Mahayana. Okay, the proof is that for a while I was worried that the other branch temples are progressing more quickly than we did, but it's not true. Because we're bigger. So the Great Assembly training is very interesting. The concept behind it is that you get together with a lot of people from different background, from different persuasions, some black, some white, some yellow, and so forth. Mostly yellow so far. Okay, and when you do that, you have a lot of conflicts, have a lot of disagreements, lots of afflictions. Okay, and that's how we cultivate the Great Assembly Dharma. Great Assembly Dharma means great afflictions. If you want to know the secret about the meaning of Great Assembly Dharma, you go here, you come here, and you give rise to great afflictions. Okay. So anyway, when I said that, all of a sudden they confessed they didn't feel like finishing the the work in Go Forest anymore. Anyway, so that's how it goes. So, by the way, for the record, I'm looking for something bigger, at least a Buddha Hall about this size here, for Northern California and for Korea as well. Okay, we should be more humble, but we're not. Have to continue to grow so that you can progress. All right, next. 89, Sutra text. On the first day of the 7th month, he gathered his disciples together and said, "In the 8th month, I wish to leave this world."
7月1日，即徒众曰：“5至8月，欲离世间。”
Commentary. So he gathered his disciples and made the announcement that in about a month, I would like to die. I would like to leave you. Okay? Just like that. Okay? These great sages, they know when they're going, they know they can leave, and they can leave anytime they wish. In fact, these Chan masters, they can leave any moment, in any way. Okay? Yeah. All right. 91, Sutra text. Those of you with doubts should ask about them soon, so that I may resolve them for you and put an end to your confusion. Because when I'm gone, there will be no one to teach you.
汝等有余，早须相问，为汝破疑，令汝迷尽。吾若去后，无人教汝。
Commentary. So he says, the background is these are his many disciples, not just the eminent disciples. So he says, you, as you cultivate, you will have doubts. That's natural. Anyone who practices, okay, who cultivates, will have doubts. Doubts about themselves, doubts about the teaching, doubts about phenomena, and so forth. You have doubts, okay? In particular, if you have doubts about the Dharma, doubts about the teaching, you better ask them so that I can resolve them for you. And when doing that, I will be able to end your confusion, okay? And I can relate with that because when I was practicing, even from beginning to end, I had a lot of questions. And I joined my master's temple within 4 or 5 months. After I shaved my head, he died on me. I was planning for 25 years with him or under him, and he died within a few months, 4 months, 5 months. So never had a chance to train under him, or in particular. So what happened is that I started reading, I started trying to learn from his other disciples, because he assured me, bless you, he assured me that his disciples were supposed to train us, substitute him to train us, and we knew that his disciples were enlightened. So it's reassuring for me to know that, okay? But for some reason, no one taught me anything. I refused to teach me anything. So I was more and more confused. That's the nature of the work, is that if you have any doubts at all, it tends to accrue. It will not go away. It keeps on compounding and get worse. That's the way it is. So that's why now that I'm here, you should take advantage of it. Similarly, this is why when I speak Dharma, I allow you to ask any question anytime, okay? Because this is the most opportune time, is that when you have any doubts arises, ask them so that we eliminate those potential roots for confusion. And same thing here. It really hits home for me, because after he's gone, my master's gone, there's no one to teach me at all. Okay, so many of his disciples were enlightened. 4 of them were the incoming, the succeeding, the successor patriarchs, 7th patriarchs, the 4 of them, and yet he says, while all of them there, he says, no one to teach you. It's kind of insulting, isn't it? What do you think? Is he talking down on his students? Yes.
Well, I mean, he's right.
Why is he right?
Because no one could really match the 6th patriarch, and that was proven throughout the stories in the sutra. Okay,
absolutely. Let me get to get straight to it. Basically, if you work hard, you have problems. You have a lot of questions. If you don't work hard, there's no problems at all. Okay, that's the nature of the beast. When you practice vigorously, diligently, you will have a lot of questions. You will have a lot of doubts. You will have a lot of obstructions. Okay, and when you have those obstructions, of course, a lot of people can help you. Okay, but however, this is a very factual thing. He's a great master. His students, none of them comes near his level, meaning that his answers will be a lot more accurate, a lot more precise and a lot more, therefore a lot more effective at resolving his answer will be much better for you. Okay. Yes, of course. After he's gone, you can. The next best things are his the successive patriarchs. Like I assure you, the successive patriarchs are not going to be able to provide the kind of quality answers that only he could answer back then. That's what he meant by no one can teach you. Okay, 无人教汝. Okay. All right. Next, 93. Sutra text. Hearing this, Fa Hai and the other wept. Only Sheng Hui was unmoved and did not cry.
法海等闻悉皆涕泣，唯有神会神情不动，亦无涕泣。
Okay, Fa Hai is the Chan master who transcribed this sutra. Okay, so Fa Hai was very attached and he got emotional and he cried. And the others, meaning a lot of other Chan monks, senior monks, also cried. Okay, they were emotional. I'm not Chinese, but is it a Chinese thing? To me, it's very difficult for us adults in this country to cry, especially men. No, we don't cry, do we? Unless our wives beat us. Any comments, sir? Mr. Riddler? Huh? Give us a riddle about that. Okay, so Chinese people, please help us out. Is that a Chinese thing when you adults cry when your teacher is say, I'm leaving. I'm leaving you. Huh? I can't identify with that because when I heard Master Hsien is dying, I had no emotion whatsoever. I said, so soon? What about me? So I can't identify with the tears there. Huh? Chinese people, help us out. Tiango. Anyone? Caucasian people, is that the thing? You guys cry? Seriously? Anyway, I don't get it. Okay. Only Shen Hui was unmoved and did not cry. Shen Hui is a small boy wonder, he's a prodigy. So he's completely unemotional. Okay. Dry eyes and everything. 95. Sutra text. The master said, Little Master Sheng Hui has attained to the equality of good and evil. He's not moved by blame or praise and does not feel sadness or joy.
诗云：神会小师，却得善不善等，毁誉不动，哀乐不生。
Okay, YouTube has the answer.
Lee says, Shifu is like a parent, so naturally it would be sad when departing.
Who is this? Emily.
It was Emily.
Oh, hello, policewoman. Okay, so yeah, but Emily is not quite Chinese. I'm asking Chinese people. Okay, the master said, little master Sheng Hui he's very affectionate, isn't he? Little master, little boy, little Alung, it's disgusting. Has attained to the equality of good and evil. So he says, this little monk here this young monk here has certified to equanimity towards good or not good. Okay, YouTube, go ahead.
Jane says, Shen Hui had high samadhi level, therefore he was not moved.
Who is this? Jane.
It's Jane.
Can we stay on the Chinese side for a moment? Forget about samadhi, okay? I'm just curious, culturally speaking, is this a common thing for Chinese adults to cry when your teacher dies or something? Because I really can't identify with that. I remember my entire life, a lot of my teachers died. I never felt anything. Yes, sir.
It's because Master's not moved by good or
I
evil.
got the equality of good and evil. I know what you're getting at. Thank you. Brownie points. Yes, Q&A.
I'm just confirming that it is I think it's quite reasonable practice. I mean, quite a common practice. Certainly people, adults, men, women cry for their parents' funeral deaths. So I think teachers similar.
But you're not a Chinese man.
I have seen Chinese men
Chinese, you mean you've seen Chinese men cry?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it's true.
Well, my husband cried when his father passed away.
He cried when he had to fire his employees, but I don't think he would cry if his teachers died.
I'm actually curious, did Master Shenhua's senior disciples cry when he left?
Really?
That's a question. I don't know.
In my generation, I don't know about what the spies think, what they think of it. In my generation, there's this concept of macho men. So we just don't cry. Yes, spy number one.
Mô Phật bạch thầy, sư phụ qua đời đó thầy ở Vicki. Thầy lúc trong á, sư phụ á, đẩy ở trong cái nhà hoàng, đẩy ra trong một cái đó là không biết cái nhà, đẩy ra cái nhà hoàng. Xong đó là tôi thấy được 5 người sư cô thôi. Rồi tôi với bà Quả Khanh với không biết có con tôi nữa, thầy đi tới, thầy chỉ thấy 5 người sư cô với tôi 3 người là chỉ 8 người thôi. Thầy mới thấy đó cũng lạnh lẽo lắm. Thấy là như mình cũng không biết nói làm sao nữa. Sư phụ là một người đó, kêu bằng là cũng là một người, kêu bằng không biết nói làm sao, kể làm sao, không biết kể nữa. Thầy mình thấy rất là lạnh lẽo, rất là mình không biết nói làm sao nữa thầy.
Dust in the air.
Do you know when Shifu passed away in West Covina and then they brought him to the funeral home? When I get there, I saw there was only 5 nuns with him. And then my party is me and Gua Khang and I think my children. So total is 8 of us. And you know, like for a person like Shifu and it's only a few of us around, it feels so sad.
You too.
Jane says, yes, you cry when the teacher passes.
Okay. Q&A.
I just want to add that actually officially in the book of ethics, ancient set of rules for behavior, you are supposed to cry at the funeral of the emperors or your parents. And there's actually, I think, a detailed description about what type of cry, how long you cry, certain things. So it is definitely a thing.
Okay. Jewel Mountain.
Jewel Mountain says, in Korean culture is similar. adult men don't cry in public, but when a teacher dies in a Buddhist temple, in my personal opinion, it's a chance for them to let out.
And in Jewel Mountain, which person are we talking about? Oh, I thought it was Jumi, because when Jumi says something, you need to discount it. Okay. I can relate to you. I can relate with that, because intellectually, the concept of crying to me personally, it doesn't work, because intellectually say we men and we just are not supposed to show our emotions. Okay, it's too girly to show our emotions. Let's face it, and so that's why in all my personal experiences where my grandma died or my father died, and my teacher died, I really had no tears at all. Okay, I really have found it very hard to cry. Okay, these people, they're not putting on a show, by the way. This is what intrigued me. These are Chan masters. Okay, what you see is what you get. They don't grandstand. They don't make pretend at all. Okay, so for them to cry, I'm trying to relate to that. Okay, what is the trigger? So I had to go back and I said, my dad died. I really had no tears whatsoever because I didn't get along with him. Okay, my entire life. I was sad. I couldn't do more with him professionally, but tears weren't there. My grandma, when she died, I had no tears either. Okay, until I came to her, and she was on her deathbed. Okay, waiting for me to see me before she died. Okay, and when I touched her hand, okay, for the last time, okay, the doctor said, you know, say goodbye to your children. And she was in San Jose. I was in Minneapolis, St. Paul, half of a country away. And basically, she ran out of time, but she waited for me to see me before she passed. And so I jumped on the airplane right away. Horribly expensive ticket. I still remember that. You see, it's very logical for us educated people, you know, Western educated people. It's very, it has to be logical, okay? And so I jumped on the airplane, went there because I'm supposed to go, okay? And my chance to say goodbye to my grandmother, whom I was very close. And so I went there, so I had no feelings, no emotions at all. But as soon as I went there, I saw her lying there in the deathbed, and she looked at me and said, "Oh, you come, finally." And then I held her hands. That's when tears came to my eyes. Okay, and she passed maybe half an hour later, an hour later, and my elder brother, okay, who was there. Okay, came there before I did. He was there, and of course, in the Vietnamese family, I don't know about the Chinese culture. Vietnamese family, the eldest son is the most important person in the family. Okay, besides your father, he's the most important person. Okay, he's also very short, So they were there, a bunch of them were there, and so my eldest brother saw how tears came in my eyes, and my grandma was tearing up as well. And he came, and he also, "Oh, grandma," he started crying as well, grandstanding, okay. I still don't like him. You think after you shave your head and cultivate, you forgive people. I can't. And then And then so that's still to me, because it's emotional when you touch someone right there, that all the emotions flow forth. Okay, the physical thing, the physical touch really triggers a lot of emotions. Okay, I can understand that. Okay, and then finally, when my late Chinese master died, okay, he didn't teach me much. Okay, a few times before he died, and so there's no connection at all. Okay, I went there basically because I thought I could get a lot out of him. Okay, no emotions. He says beneficial. Let's go do it. Okay, very logical. So when he died, I have no emotion whatsoever. I said, "Oh my God, now he's gone. What are we gonna do?" Okay, so we plan for the next thing, next teacher. Go after the next teacher. But they, because I was the last novice, more or less the last novice he admitted before he died. He accepted before he died. I was put on guard duty. So they spent $100,000 buying this refrigerated coffin so that they could display his body. Okay, by the health ordinances, you cannot leave the body there for a long time unless they're refrigerated. So they had to order $100,000. This is about 20 years ago. $100,000 of this special refrigerated coffin. Okay, I would spend, buy a refrigerator, like Vikings or something, and be done with it. No, I had to buy it. Very special thing. So, yeah, Viking. Yeah, Viking, professional stuff. And then to show our deference to our beloved teacher, they assigned 2 monks, not nuns, mind you. No women. Okay? 2 men to guard him. And so I was, of course, one of the things, because you're a novice, you do the flunky work. So I was standing there, okay, and we have shifts of 1 hour, 2 hours. We stand there, and to guard him. And I was standing there for a few days, and then one time they during the break where they actually opened the fridge, that refrigerating unit, opened the lid so that the visitors can come and look at his face, okay, to say goodbye. And one time I was standing there, no emotions, didn't like it. And then in one moment when they opened the thing, opened the lid, look his face. His face, the skin turned bronze. Okay, and I look at his face, and for one moment there, something happened, and tears came to my eyes. Okay, we're not sure why. To this day, I'm not sure why. But the point here is that, remember, the first experience for me personally is touching someone that's very emotional. All these feelings well up. Okay, and the second time with Master YongHua is the fact you're so close, and you look at him, and you sort of probably now looking back, because I was plotting, he said, where do I go now? You stand there and, where do I go now? Let's see, who else is alive? That kind of thing, completely logical of an animal. And then for a moment, I look at him, I said, look at him, he's dead now. What's going to happen to me? I think it's more like self-pity than emotions. Okay? That's me. Okay, so sad. Anyway, a lot of my friends are like that too, by the way. And I relate to you relate that to you because that's how I remember my friends and my peers, my colleagues. That's how we lived. Okay? Very self-centered. It's very sad. Okay? So the Chan masters actually cried is real. I think they have some connections there with the teacher. And you should know that even though you become enlightened, you still have this personal connection, okay? The emotions are real. Don't think that just because you become enlightened, you become wood or stone, you have no more feelings. Actually, the feelings are stronger, much more, much truer, if you will, okay? More raw at times. Make sense? It's no longer disguised, no longer grandstanding like my short eldest brother. Yes, he's still phony. He gets older, he gets more phony. It's disgusting. Yes?
Are emotions a hindrance to enlightenment, or can they help you get there?
I don't know. We find out when we get there, won't we? Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So the master said, little master Sheng Hui, a little boy. Okay. I like this guy. He little boy. He is attained to equality of good and evil. So he says, this guy is not moved by good and evil. Okay? That is something very hard to do for us educated people. Yes? Our world is built upon logic. It has to be clear separation between good and evil. Okay? And furthermore, he's not moved by blame or praise and does not feel sadness or joy. Okay? This is the great master's. He spells it out for this boy. This boy is very young, and yet he's not moved by good and evil, blame or praise, which is hard to do when you're young. You like, who doesn't like to be praised? And does not feel sadness or joy. Okay, so that's the master's prognosis of Venerable Sheng Hui, which is very impressive for a boy. This for a young boy, that's incredible. Okay, this guy has potential. Sutra text 97. None of the rest of you have attained that. All these years on the mountain, what have you been cultivating?
愚者不得数年山中静修合道。
Me and my big mouth. I should have read before I tried to explain this. You enjoy that too? Yeah, okay. I thought usually it's my left home disciples who enjoy when I make a misstep, not you lay people. Anyway, the rest of you, none of you have attained that. Meaning is that even you 7 patriarchs, any of you, the other enlightened monks, you have not attained that. Okay? You still are emotional. So all these years in the mountain here, what have you been doing? Okay? So he's chiding them, he's scolding them. Let's see what he's up to. 99, Sutra text. Now you cry. Who are you all worrying about? Are you worrying that I don't know where I'm going? I know where I'm going.
汝今悲泣，为忧阿谁？若忧吾不知去处，吾自知去处。
Commentary. Now you cry. You sad. Okay? So what are you all worrying about? Okay, what makes you so sad? What what makes you so concerned? Are you worrying that I don't know where I'm going? I do know where I'm going. Okay. All right. So he's reasoning with them. And 101, Sutra text. If I didn't know, I wouldn't have been able to tell you about it in advance.
吾若不知去处，终不欲报于汝。
Commentary on slide 102. He says, of course I know where I'm going, because proof is that I know when I'm going. So therefore, logically, I should know where I'm going. Okay, of course, it's interesting that he decides to reason with them this way. Okay, it's probably because of the mixed group, mixed assembly, a lot of people, a lot of students. Okay, so this is not necessarily for the enlightened disciples, but it's for all the rest. Okay, he seizes the opportunity to teach, all the rest, spies and whatnot. Sutta text 103. No doubt you're crying because you don't know where I'm going, but if you knew, you wouldn't need to cry. Originally, the Dharma nature is not produced or extinguished. It does not come or go.
汝等悲泣，盖为不知吾去处。若知吾去处，即不合悲泣。法性本无生灭去来。
104, commentary. I'm pretty sure that you're crying because you don't know where I'm going. Because if you knew where I'm going, you wouldn't cry. If you knew where I'm going, then you for sure will realize that I'm going to a good place. Okay, if this old monk here, he's old and the body doesn't quite function as well anymore. So it's if wherever he goes, he gets a new body, probably a good thing. And in particular, he certainly would go to a good place himself. So originally, the Dharma nature is not produced or extinguished, does not come or go. So from this emotional experience, from this death experience, death worries, he teaches the Dharma. He says this Dharma nature is not produced or extinguished, not come or go. Okay, Dharma nature. What does it have to do with his death? Okay, let's see what where he's going. 105, Sutta text. All of you sit down, I will recite a verse called the True False Motion Stillness verse. You take it up and recite it, you will be of the same mind as I am.
汝等静坐，吾与汝说一偈，名曰真假动静偈。汝等诵取此偈，与吾一同。
106. Okay. Commentary. All of you sit down, settle down, sit down, okay? Relax. I will recite a verse called the True False Motion Stillness verse. He says, in order for you to properly register the teaching, you need to relax. So sit down, okay? Meaning calm down as well, okay? Still your mind. Tone down your emotions, okay? And I will will give you a verse, recite a verse. True, false, okay? Pairs of true, false. Motion, stillness, verse, okay? A verse about the pairs of true and false, motion and stillness, opposites, okay? And if you don't sung qu, if you take it, there's no need for take it up. Take it, okay? and recite it. You will be of the same mind as I am. You see now the point? Somehow I decided to talk to you about Great Assembly. This is one example of the Great Assembly Dharma right here. Okay? He convoked all his disciples to make the announcement, I'm leaving in a month. Okay? And a number of his disciples became emotional. Okay? Many of them weren't emotional at all. You see that? So a group of people here, some are emotional, most of them are not emotional. Okay? So that's why it's an opportunity for him to teach the Dharma to both of them. Both types of disciples, the emotional ones as well as the unemotional ones. Yes, Orange.
Mô Phật và thầy nãy khai thị đó là cái người mà sư phụ giống thầy đi, bây giờ thầy qua đời đi tụi tôi không có khóc đâu, tại vì tụi tôi đó biết thầy biết đường đi rồi, tụi tôi phải khóc, tụi tôi không biết đường đi. Mô Phật.
Master, after your Dharma talk, you know what? After you pass away, we will not cry because we know where you were heading to, but we will cry for ourselves because we don't know.
Don't cry for me, Argentina. Your name from now on will be Argentina. Okay.
Con phải khóc không biết đường đi, tụi con không biết đường đi với thầy.
Sir, we need to cry for ourselves because we don't know where to go.
Okay. No prearranged 49 day for her. Do we? Okay. Blacklist her. Okay. Look at her face now, she's crying. So he's going to teach them. He's going to teach them with you see. So with somebody being emotional in the assembly, he finds a way to teach to both kinds of students. Okay, so that's why you can learn from people that are not the same as you, as much as a direct teaching to you. Okay, and that's the function, the nature of the Great Assembly training, and that's why definitely I'm a big temple. I'm a big Buddha hall kind of thing. I cannot stand the small Buddha halls because not enough people. What happened in San Jose, for example, are they online? Oh, the good people in San Jose. I went up there, I noticed something. They all progressed. It's scary. Anyway, so for a small temple, the core group made progress. Okay, and that's why I hurriedly announced that, our Sunim also made progress. Now you know. But typically, when you go to small temple, the reason that they are still there is because they have groupthink. They have to be similar. Otherwise, they cannot stay. They have too much conflict. It's too small to tolerate conflicts between the small number of people, small group of people. So usually in small temple, you have groupthink. They are similar. Okay, so So that's why I noticed that. That's why I don't like small things, small Buddha halls, okay, small temples. Okay, 107, Sutra text. If you rely on it to cultivate, you will not stray from a true principle of our school.
依此修行，不失宗旨。
Okay, commentary. He says, follow it and cultivate, and you will be on the right tracks. What I've been advocating, what I've been propagating, okay, the pathways, the school, the doctrines I've been propagating my entire career, okay, will be if you follow those verses, you'll be on the right tracks. Okay, 109, Sutta text. The assembly bowed and begged the master to recite the verse.
众僧作礼，请师说记。
Okay, so typical back then to show gratitude. Okay, even if you're not grateful, you bowed. Okay, so they bowed and begged the master. So again, sincerity. Okay, and it's very important for you to keep this in mind that this is one of the greatest teachers in the history of Chinese Buddhism, and the lesson here is sincerity makes a huge difference. The more sincere you are, you will learn a lot more. Okay. So part of the Chinese training I noticed. Okay. More so than the Vietnamese for some reason. The Koreans is similar. The Koreans pretty tough, except that their teachers gave them, the Sunims gave them too easy of a test. But the Chinese tests are very, very tough, very, very, very hard to pass. Okay, in general, because I noticed that from watching how Master YongHua taught his disciples, from the videos, from the tapes and so forth, as compared to the other Vietnamese or Japanese or Chinese monk teaching their disciples, there's a big difference. Okay, so 111 Sutra text. There is nothing true in anything, so don't view anything as true. If you view anything as true, such view will be completely false.
一切无有真，不以见于真。若见于真者，是见尽非真。
Okay, God, oh Lord, the verses are very difficult. Okay, let me peek first, before I make a fool of myself again. Okay. It's nothing true in anything. Okay? So basically, he's saying, you are so insistent upon the truth. Let me tell you, there's no such thing as the truth. Remember, we are called, huh? That's the only possible explanation. There's no truth. Yeah, finally someone is responding. Yes, sir. Black.
Thank you, Master. I respectfully disagree.
Speak.
when I cross my legs, I feel better, and it's good for me. How is that not true?
Answer, let him have it. Sabina, I would let my young mistress, Sabina mistress, answer the adult. Purple.
Master, I'm just as confused as he is.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? He says, when I meditate, because Sabina experienced the same exact thing, I meditate, okay? It feels good. How can you tell me it's not true? This good feeling is not true. Yes? That's the point. Anyone? Hey, the unaware kimchi girl. Answer him. It's like pulling teeth. See what I mean? See? Say something. See, he's like, no, I don't feel like saying anything. Yes, Mary Jo White.
Well, that perception is being made by the mind, and the mind is subject to errors.
But how can you say it's not true? Nothing is true. I mean, yes, what you're saying, ma'am, is that, yes, sometimes the mind is wrong, but at all the times it's right. So therefore, there's truth. Yes? You're not helping.
Anytime there's a duality like that, that to me is problematic. Right, wrong, true, false.
Change profession. Yes, purple.
Master, maybe it may be true for one person, but may not be true for somebody else.
But he says, but you are not helping, because he basically says, you're saying that's true to someone, right? He's saying there's not such a thing as true. The concept of truth is nonsense. It doesn't exist. He doesn't get it. Think about it. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Black.
So I'm thinking about math, right? So 2 + 2 = 4. That's true. But yesterday you were talking about hypotheticals, and you said hypotheticals have nothing. Nothing's real in hypotheticals. So I would have to say that anything viewed as true is a hypothetical. It has no basis in reality. So that's probably why he's saying that.
What about this bothers me. What about true love? Huh? True love. She's listening. Okay, Jewel Mountain has the answer about true love.
Not really about true love, but the Venerable Exed says maybe it was Master means it's not permanent.
It's not about permanence, it's about truth. We're talking about true or false. Is this true or is it false? He says, the sixth patriarch says, nothing is true. True love is not true. Okay, he's not going to touch it. Okay? Yes, Sabina. Good feelings are not true. You name it, yes.
I'm starting to think that us as humans, we're so blind, we need an answer for everything. We can't just live with what we have.
That's true. Okay, I don't know how to answer that. Anyone else? Yes. Great.
Với Đạo Phật, cái căn bản là mình nhớ lại là Lục Tổ dạy cho Ngài Huệ Minh là khi cái đầu ông á, không có nghĩ thiện, không nghĩ ác á, cái khoảng trống mà ông không nghĩ thiện, không nghĩ ác, lúc đó là cái thật, cái chân đó. Ở đây mình còn khởi lên là mình happy, mình này nó ai happy, ai đau khổ. Kinh Bát Nhã dạy mình là ngũ uẩn giai không. Thì trong cái không đó mình thấy được rồi thì nó sẽ ra cái chân thật mà chư Phật đang có trong đó. Đâu có ai là trong đó mà nói tôi happy, tôi ngồi thiền tôi happy, hay là tôi đau chân hay là cái gì đâu.
He's old, so we forgive him. Yes, Orange. He's not wrong, but...
So, Master, is at one point, probably the enlightened mind, there is no discrimination, so there is no truth to anything, because the mind is on a different level. And for us humans, we can't grasp that concept because we live in a material world, so we need to know, we need to have the truth, the false, the good, the bad. But at that level of this age, there is no such thing as true because the mind is in a level where there is no more maybe existence.
What do the Koreans have to say? Give him a microphone, please. Red.
참회가 없다고 하는 것은 모든 것은 고정됨이 없이 화에서 돌아가기 때문입니다. 다시 말씀드릴까요?
아니요, 마이크 찾고 있었어요. I believe here, when mentioning about the truth, the truth, there is nothing truth in anything means nothing is fixed.
So how about your vows that you made to your wife? I will love you to the end of my days, for richer and poorer. That's not a true vow? Red. He says he doesn't understand my question. Are you translating or are you explaining? He just said something, we need translation, dear. Okay, again, one more time, please. Red. Give him another mic, probably the battery.
이라고 하는 것은 모든 것은 고정됨이 없이 화에서 돌아가기 때문에 실체가 없는 겁니다. 예.
Again, I believe everything is not fixed and it's moving. That's why there's no truth about it.
About his vows? I'm asking about very specifically about his vows he made to his wife. They're not true. They're only not serious vows.
그 당시는 집사람 와이프하고 인연에 의해서 만났기 때문에 만난 것뿐입니다. 그 속에 다 포함됩니다.
At the time when I met her, it was due to the affinity. That's it.
What do you have to say? Do you have an opinion? Yeah, he said, I'm violent.
마스터
Violence.
말씀이 맞습니다. 결혼할 때는 항상 저희가 그 약속하는 거죠. 선서하고 저희가 결혼식 할 때는 목사님 앞에서 결혼을 했습니다. 미국 목사님 앞에서 선서를 하고 그런데 그 약속이 사실은 살아가면서 다 지켜질 수가 없어요. 항상 사랑하고 뭐 이렇게 아껴주라 그러는데 항상 그게 이렇게 고정된 게 없습니다. 어느 때는 화가 나고 어느 때는 정말 힘들고 예 그렇기 때문에 저도 마찬가지로 고정된 힘이 없기 때문에 항상 그 약속은 어그러지고 하려고 노력하지만 이 세상은 그렇게 쉽지 않은 것 같습니다. 약속 지키기가 저 사람도 마찬가지인 것 같아요. 그 뜻에서 말씀하시는 것 같습니다.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of pent-up frustrations there. Go ahead, translation. We can't wait.
At the time when we got married, we married in front of an American priest, and we made a promise. And it is true, we said we're going to always love and care for each other. But sometimes it's difficult to keep that promise. And promise can be changed, and it's not fixed, just like my husband said. And this war is not that easy to keep the promise. I think that's why he said that way.
You agree?
예, 100% 동의합니다.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I'm the boss. Yeah. Okay, very good. Thank you very much for sharing with us. All right. Jewel Mountain, thank you for waiting. Go ahead.
Venerable XA says, if you see something is true, then you will see something else is false. The Patriarch is telling his disciples that it's not like what you think.
Say something more original, Jesus. Okay, anyone else? Yes, Hung. Green.
It looks like he's trying to tell his disciple not to get attached to him.
Okay.
Don't view him as true.
Okay, you too, go ahead.
He says, inside the truth contains false.
Who said this? Who?
Dui Nguyen.
Huh, who?
Dui Nguyen.
Dui! I call him Rui, you call him Dui. Dui. Yeah, Dui. D-U-Y. Dui. He's Canadian English. Yeah, Dui. YouTube answer.
Hong-Duc says, there's probably two different kinds. The sixth patriarch is talking about transcendental truth, and Peter is talking about worldly truth.
And who is this person again? Dui?
No, this is a Hong-Duc boat.
Hong-Duc walk? Oh, the younger brother. Oh, the good guy. Okay, we're not going to touch him. He's helping me in my mortgage. I can be bought. Okay, you're wrong except for her. Okay, that Maya mother. Okay, Maya mom. Okay, she's right. I'm impressed. Okay, excellent, Anna. you hit it right on the head. But let me paraphrase it for you. Okay? Let me point out to you why the Patriarch's teaching is so subtle, so precise, that it gives you clues already and you're not paying attention, that's all. This is why it's so fascinating. You see how he teaches. All the people, remember, this is like a couple thousand students in a Chan hall. And he has to speak to all of them at the same time. Okay? Teach them, enlightened and advanced enlightened level to, feeling good type of meditation people. Okay? He says, okay, and we go to your specific answers. When you meditate and you feel good, is it true? Isn't that the true thing? Okay, I will explain that for you. First of all, the teaching is so direct. He says, there's nothing true at all. I'm telling you, the secret to my world, you want to go into my world of great wisdom, okay? That's what he says. There's nothing true at all. So far, so good. Very important. He says, my world, okay, of great wisdom, of Buddha's wisdom, there's nothing true at all. So pay attention. Isn't that beautiful? They don't say like, God is almighty. Okay? No, he says, there's nothing true at all in this world, including God or non-God. Hello, Daniel. Huh? You got that? It's such a sweeping, powerful, and sweeping statement. Whatever that you believe is true, okay, doesn't exist. So far, so good. Whether it's love, whether it's mother, whether it's father, husband, and so forth, nothing is true at all. Where I'm sitting, nothing is true. Nothing. Any problems? Of course there's a problem. We knew that. Give him a microphone. Did you eat? Yeah. Yes, sir. Spill your beans.
So I have a question then. If nothing is true, that means that the Buddha is not true?
That's right.
So that means that...
God is true, but Buddha is not.
I agree with that.
Does it help? Does it help?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. My friend, you're so wrong. Take the microphone away from him. Okay. So, it's so beautiful. He says, for all time's sakes, okay? Nothing true at all, okay? Let me explain to you. It's beautiful. Yeah. The way he teaches is so fantastic. I should copy this. He says, therefore, because let me tell you, okay, what I know nothing is true. And therefore, you should not hang on to your beliefs of anything that's true at all. That's the second sentence. See this? Number one, from my perspective, nothing true. Nothing is true. Therefore, you should not insist on feelings to be true. So far, so good. This is what the great teacher is saying. Don't stop it. Don't think it's true. Whatever you believe to be true, love, vows, God, and so forth. You really believe that? Okay? You're wrong. Isn't that interesting? So he says, I know the truth, you don't. How are you? Okay? I'm coming. Just hang on. Don't raise your arm. I tell you why. If you view anything as true, the key word here is, like Anna pointed out, view. 见. What is his view here? Don't raise your hand. Give him a chance. He's upset already.
So
Poor
view
guy.
is like your
Why
mind?
do you keep on coming?
So
Yeah.
view is like your mind? Your own mind?
Okay, very good. What is view? Excellent. Yes, sir. Red.
The opinions you hold.
The opinions you hold, huh? Okay. What about the Chinese emotions? They cry. Huh? Yes. Sabina. Violet.
The perspective of how you see the world.
Perspective? My, are we sophisticated? Oh, I don't have any chocolate. Yes, Daniel.
But there are some things that is from your mind and some things that are absolute truths, are they?
You believe that?
It's not what I believe, it's just what it is. Like if I say God is real, that means that it's based on reality, it's not based on my mind.
I'm getting a headache. Okay, Q&A. Go ahead.
That's about your thoughts, right? If you think, then nothing's true.
Are you sure?
This is not my thought.
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember talking to someone sometime, and they were saying that, all the math and science equations like gravity and stuff like that, it's all a hypothesis, but it's just a kind of a hypothesis that shows kind of proof over and over again, but it's never stated as completely 100% true, because there could always be something that comes around that proves that wrong.
Very good. Okay, San Jose, please tune out, because this is going to be offensive to some of us, this person in San Jose. Can we tune them out, please? Cut them off. Okay. Green.
다른 표현으로 좀 말씀드리겠습니다. 참회가 없다고 하는 것은 우리의 마음이 두 개가 있는데 참나와 가나가 있는데, 가나는 업식의 마음은 분별을 하지만 참회가 있다 없다 하지만, 우리의 진화는 이미 벌써 합의되면 거기서 다 해결됩니다. 만약에 참회하고 싶으면 참회가 될 것이고 아니면 아니고, 다시 말해서 내 가나는, 업식에 있는 가나는 분별력으로서 그거를 참회하겠다 안 했다 하지만, 그것을 내려놓고 내 자성에다가 내려놓게 되면은 이미 그것은 한순간에 다 해결됩니다.
I believe there's two nature. One of them is karmic consciousness. The karmic consciousness do discriminations. So if you don't rely on that, and if you rely on only the true nature, then everything will be solved.
Okay. And I want you young men to learn from the wise lady. See how she sided with her husband? And she spoke a lot of her mind, and he says, but what my husband said is true. You know what I mean? You see? So she can express her opinion, and then he says, but that's consistent with my husband's view, so therefore his view is true. I'm impressed. That's wisdom. I finally learned their secret, the secret of the Korean long-lasting relationship. Okay. View. See, then these three verses, view, view, view. So far, so good? The first sentence, is there a view in there? No. Okay? So therefore, view is the root cause of the false. Isn't it beautiful? This logic here is so beautiful. Huh? Because if you have any view at all, it's false. That's what Anna was saying. Am I right, Anna, or is that I'm reading too much into your things? Okay? See? So much pressure. Finally, someone being truthful, or someone, yesterday I said, you certified to, the no self. He says, I don't feel anything. It's right there. What are you talking about? It's nothing, no feeling. I rest my case, and no one came to my rescue. Made a fool of myself in front, all my core people. Master lying through his teeth, and we got proof. The woman says, I feel nothing. That's got to be proof. She still feels nothing. She said, it's been 24 hours, I still feel nothing. Impossible, people. Yes, sir. Green.
So I'm getting very confused then. So let's talk about karma. For example, if we talk about karma, is that as a view, is it reality, or is it an absolute truth?
That's not complicated things. Right now, I'm struggling with view, okay? Okay. So can we ignore that, shelve it for now, and ask me when and my head is clearer, okay? Because I'm still under the pressure for someone who says, who disavows me publicly in front of my loyal and devotees. I don't feel a thing. And ingrates. Okay, view is your brains. What else is a view? Your ears, huh? Your feelings, also a view, isn't it? Huh? What about Chanel number 5? That's a view, isn't it? I feel that this is a good fragrance. That's not. That's a view, isn't it? Okay? What about taste of blood? You thinking? Yes? Speak up. Pink.
Yeah. So there's subjective reality and objective reality. So you're talking about, let's say we're talking about a flower, right? 2 roses, like, okay, one is red, and it looks like that way. Okay, and then one's blue and looks that way, or whatever. But at the end of the day, there's still both a rose. So would that be considered as a true objective reality, and it's the subjective as we view them differently?
You're going too far. Let's stay in Wei Mountain Temple, Buddha Hall for now. Okay? Let's stay there. Okay? Don't go there. Okay? You guys are trying to distract me. I'm not falling for you. Anyone else? See? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Master. In the Wei Mountain kitchen right before the Dharma talk, I enjoyed a very tasty Impossible Burger.
Tasty is what? It's a view, isn't it? And therefore, he's lying to his teeth.
Yes, Master, thank you.
It's a false statement. Caught you.
That's exactly my point. And I think what contributed so much to the tastiness of the burger was what my wife's friend had to point out to her was not blood, but it was the beet juice that was like a tasty burger would normally have. So I just want to say thank you for the tasty burger, Master.
He's trouble already. That's not getting in any deeper. Okay. So I point out to you this beautiful teaching here that is so ingenious. Okay? So brutal and yet ingenious. He says, there's nothing true at all. Where I'm looking at, where I am, there's nothing true. You're not true, you're not true, this is not true, nothing is true. And from your perspective, if you view anything to be true, okay, then such views is completely false. In other words, don't hold any views. Don't think you are Republican, don't think you are Democrat, don't think you're smart, don't think you are white, okay? Don't think, because view involves what? Your sense organs, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, your skin, and your brains. If you engage with your six sense organs, whatever you perceive is untrue. So, if you sit and meditate, and you enjoy this feeling, this nice feeling, that arises from your body. Yes? The body feels good. The mind feels good. So it's a view that comes from the mind or the body. Therefore, it is false. This good feeling is false. Any problems with that? And that's the difference between him and us. He sees it as not true, but we see it as true. You see the difference between wisdom and confusion? Buddha and God. See that? It's a view of a God. Yes? I believe in God. You keep on hearing those people. You know what I mean? Give him a microphone. It's fair. Say something false.
The thing is that when we say "I believe," which is in the Catholic Creed too, that means it doesn't come from the mind. It's that we are testing to reality that he does exist. It doesn't come from the mind. That's my argument.
Who believes? It's not.
We're not believing.
Wait. Can I finish my point here? It's not Dracula. It's not. What are those dead people? Zombie. It's Daniel who says, "I believe in God." Yes. So it comes from Daniel's mind. Yes. According to this great teacher, again, I'm quoting him, it's not about me. Ding! I'm sorry, my friend, according to our great teacher, such view is false. Isn't that interesting? It destroys your entire life. It destroys our lives. Poor Sabina said, I'm not going to meditate anymore because it's false anyway. Yes, Sabina. Purple.
If nothing around us is true, if it's pretty much all a lie, how do we know that the teachings that we're learning, for example, saying nothing is true, then this would mean the exact opposite?
Honey, I wish I could help you. We all crazy. Adults are, undependable. Don't grow up too fast, honey. Yes, Daniel.
I'm just getting very confused by his teaching. So basically, he's literally saying that his own teaching is not true.
Take refuge, and I will explain to you in private. Poor Daniel says, I like Buddhism, I like six-page chart. I don't like you, but I have to say I like the six-page chart. That's the problem. You're like the wrong person. I am for sale. He's not. Okay, so it's interesting because the teaching is very simple, Sabina. He basically says, for now, your good feelings, whatever you feel to be true, whatever you see in the eyes, like the San Jose people, we brought up the air purifier. So what did the guy says? He says, I'm going to whip out some kind of measuring tool to measure how clean the air is, which happens to be true or false, according to this teaching. False. See that? So these scientists, these so-called engineers, they construct our world based on false views. How is that? Any problems, my friend? Finally, White. He's been waiting patiently. Is it my turn yet?
No, I can't claim to understand this teaching because it seems to come from a level far beyond my understanding. But I can believe in provisional truths because they're useful. If I'm sitting on a road and a truck is coming at me and I look at the truck and I say, well, my view is that is false. I guess absolutely I could just sit there and let it hit me and maybe I'd be right.
But then you're stupid. That's my attitude. Okay, I know it's not true, but I'm not stupid. Yes, Sabina.
He were to get in the accident or something happened, that wouldn't be true either. The pain wouldn't be true.
The pain wouldn't be true, no. The pain can be gone just like that. So it's not true. If you understand, the pain disappears instantaneously. Whatever you struggle with, whatever Susan is struggling with, okay, whatever the spy number 1 is struggling with, the pain in the legs can be gone just like this, if they have wisdom. And that's the process you go through in order for you, okay, to realize that your mind is fabricating a lot of things that are not true, including is the mind fabrication. They haven't seen him yet. You never talked to him, have you? In outside, the Buddhists, they've talked to the Buddha himself, they touched him. There's a physician who's very famous, who would treat the Buddha because he has a lot of illness. Okay? So he actually prescribed medication, took his pulse, took his temperature. It's real. Yes. Green.
Sorry, Jesus was here on this earth, so God was here and between us. And he's still between us. Anyways, that's a different story.
That's what you believe, yes?
No, it's the reality.
That's your view, isn't it?
No, it's the reality.
It's your view of reality, isn't it?
It's reality. It has nothing to do with my view.
Where does that reality come from?
From reality. I think this is my belief with the sixth patriarch. I think he was just teaching us to, basically, when we go into meditation and we go into alignment, we drop everything.
It's not the way you think. No. I'm come to that. Yes, Q&A. I still have 13 minutes if you don't ask stupid questions.
I'm just
stupid question?
Kind of think through Jim's case. I think in that example, like there's a truck coming and you're supposed to drive the way you drive it, which is to avoid it. That's not really a view or any processing. Like it's just you just do that, and I think the view. I think what the sixth patriarch is referring to is like unnecessary processing. That type of view.
The Chinese are confused. You should be more direct, honey. If you do your research and you talk like this, you're going to be in trouble. Okay. If what she's trying to formulate is this, okay? You tell me the truck is full because I see a truck. The truck is not true. So far, so good. You see where I'm going? I see a truck coming at me at 65 miles per hour. And I say, this truck is not true. Okay, because it's just a view. And therefore, you don't do anything. And my say is that it's stupidity. It may be not true, but it would be stupid of you not to get out of the way. They're two different things. See where I'm going? Of course you don't know where I'm going. Yes, Sabina.
To get out of the way, the other person would be, they wouldn't have the knowledge of this. So they would either move out of the way or they would keep going, but they would get hurt.
Yeah, that's the same thing. The Christians, they look at us. They say, I believe in God, no matter what you tell them. I say, isn't it a view? He said, no, it's the truth. But isn't the truth come from a view? No, it comes from the truth. Okay, keep on talking in circles like that. Okay? And that's a problem because I was about to say something nasty, so I helped myself because I promised to my disciples I will not be a nasty person and curse. I've been struggling since I said that. So this guy says, I may have the wrong views, I may believe in, but at least I believe in God, therefore I get out of the way, therefore I'm alive. You may know the truth, but you're dead. Okay? That's what they're thinking. They say, I'm still better off than you Buddhists. The point is this. Yes, Billy. Now Billy is in the game.
I remember when I was diagnosed with schizophrenia in my early 20s, I would be walking down the street and a voice
It's
would
not
tell
true,
me,
you know that.
Yeah.
It's just a view.
Yes, the voice would have a view of me throwing myself in front of the next car. And I would say, I would listen to it, but I wouldn't do it because that's stupid.
Exactly. Very good. Okay? Let me present this world in this way for you, the world in this way for you, for your evaluation. Suppose the schizophrenia demon comes to Billy, and Billy says, "Oh my God, I feel so bad. Okay? I'm going crazy." Okay? That's real, isn't it? To him, yes? To you, yes? But if that same goes to sixth patriarch, okay, and says and try to do his things, his ghost things to the sixth patriarch. Sixth patriarch says, "I don't feel a thing." That's a difference. A difference between wisdom and confusion, meaning that when you are confused, though the other beings around you can affect you. With someone who has wisdom like the sixth patriarch, okay, the confused people cannot affect them, has no effect at all on him. This is what this is about. The reason that you're miserable, the reason you're suffering and complain your husband doesn't love you and is not fair to you is because you have views, false views. That's why you're afflicted. It's not about truth or false. It's not about valuation. It's about the nature of our confusion. Our misperception is based on our views. And if you rise above that, you see the truth. It's not denying that your feelings are not true. The feelings are good feelings. That's why they're called good feelings. And there's something called bad feelings. Those exist in our world. Okay? And the sixth patriarch says, it's not saying that your feelings are not true. Then if they're not true, then are you a dead person? See? There's contradiction here, right? Your feelings are true. Of course, the sixth patriarch, when his disciple, he's old, his disciple massages his neck, his feet. That's what we're supposed to do, by the way. Okay? Try it on the old monk. Okay? The young novices, the young monks, they learn to massage the older masters. That's what we train to do. So are you telling me that when you do that, the sixth patriarch, those good feelings that he experienced in his feet are true or false? It's not about that. It's about the fact that it's both true and false. It's true to you, but it's false to the person who has wisdom. It's not denying that your feelings are false at all. So he's only simply saying that your feelings are true to you, but also when you practice Chan and you keep going, and right now it feels good, okay, Sabina, it feels good right now. It will feel better and better as you improve. Promise. It does feel better, and even better, and even better, okay? And it will eventually get to the point where you're able to transcend that good feeling that motivates you to meditate right now. You see, you're meditating because it feels good compared to being yelled at by mom. Yes? Okay? Of course, it's clear. Okay? There's a clear difference between being yelled at and sitting there and feeling good. It's real to you. Okay? And that's only temporary. It gets better and better and better. Okay? To the point where it feels much better when you have true wisdom and you are no longer attached to your view of this good feeling right now. That's all this means. It's not to deny that life is nonsense. It's not to deny that engineering is nil, is useless. No. Okay? It has its use. Okay? In a confused world. Is a world of confusion is real to you. When you practice Buddhism, open your wisdom, okay? Whatever's making you feeling bad right now, you will see through it and say, what bad feeling? Done. There's a way out. Is it clear? On the other hand, if you like to be in love, if you like the truth, your truth, there's nothing wrong with that. Stay there. So, you see, this is called the middle way. The sixth patriarch, where does it say that you should get rid of your views? Huh? It basically says, you should know any view you have is completely false. Your choice. Okay? Questions, comments? I don't know how I got out of this one. Does it make sense? Okay. Is it clear what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say that your world is real to you. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? However, if your life still have suffering, okay? It's because you have such views. Questions, comments? Did you have a comment, question? Yes, Red.
So this is subjective, has to do with subjective reality, our mind.
Yeah, you're going to subjective reality and so forth. You're going to go five skandhas and so forth. But the point here, the main point here is that if you rely on your six organs, your life, you depend on your six organs to search for happiness, to search for truth, you will not find it. That's all. Yes, Sabina.
If you're saying that life isn't real and neither is death, then how exactly is all of this happening?
Exactly happening. Because that's the nature of life, is that it's happening right now, whether you like it or not. Okay? Sabina, don't worry about this truth thing here, and it's a little bit out of your league. Okay? You try to understand the truth. It's not quite time for you to understand truth yet. Right now, I advise that you stick to meditation, and you're on the right path. Don't worry. If you have any problems, talk to Anna, talk to Mommy. Say, Mommy, don't yell at me. Just explain things to me. Okay, don't worry. Those good feelings you experience from meditation are a gift, okay, to be enjoyed, to be cherished, and they're very useful, okay? But one day when you get older and you're looking for something bigger, when you're not satisfied, then there are other things you can learn. But for now, don't worry about it, okay? It's not time yet. Okay, it's just like when I first started, just like you, I enjoyed doing chant because it felt good, just like, the white prodigy here, okay? It feels good, let's face it, that's why we're doing this. But eventually, it's just a starting point. Eventually, it gets better and better and better. Absolutely, yeah, and it changes. The good feeling, the good feeling there actually change. The intensity in all kinds of things. Yes, you too.
Hong-Duc asks, Master, is good feeling an affliction?
Yes, it is. But sometimes, let me put it this way for you. Don't be alarmed because this teaching is brutal, okay? And don't be alarmed, okay? It's called using poison to treat poison, okay? That's what doctors do quite often. Shrinks do that as well. They use poison, they use false thoughts to deal with false thoughts. They use, okay, so use the false to deal with the false. That's commonplace. Don't worry about it, okay? It's part of, there's a big picture here. There's a certain process that you go through, and you'll be fine, okay? Questions, comments? Yes, Green.
예, 오늘 우리가 지금 배운 것은 오늘 두 가지로 봅니다. 하나는 참회하고 하나는 믿음입니다. 우선 통역 좀 해주시죠.
I believe what I learned today is about the truth and the belief.
믿음을 정리하지 않으면은
Repeat, please.
참회를 쉽게 이해를 못한다고 생각합니다.
Repeat. Say it again, please.
오늘 우리가 배운 거는 마스터로부터 두 가지를 배웠습니다. 참회와 믿음을 이제 말씀을 해주셨는데, 이 참회는 우선 믿음이 정리가 안 되면은 참회는 뛰어넘을 수 없다고 생각합니다. 제 생각에는. 일단 그렇게 말씀해 주세요.
So, I said there is a truth and there's a belief, but if you don't have the belief, you can't overcome. Then you can't go to the truth.
Exactly. Absolutely.
예, 그래서 저는 성경책도 많이 읽어봤는데 거기에 보면 뭐가 나오냐면은 예수님은 광야에 나가서 고행을 하다 보니까 내 마음속에 하나님이 있다라고 말씀하셨습니다.
So I read Bibles, and there's a verses that Jesus went to the field, and he practiced ecstatic. He did ecstatic practice, and he says, there is a God inside of me.
또한 부처님께서도 마지막 돌아가시기 3개월 전에 말씀하시기를 이제 나를 믿지 말아라. 너희 여기 모인 사람들은 나와 똑같은 질량의 불성을 갖고 있으니 이제 그 너희들의 불성을 믿고선 정진하도록 하라고 말씀하셨습니다.
So as Shakyamuni Buddha, before he passed away, 3 days before, he said, "Don't believe me. You have the same Buddha nature as I do, and believe that, and then practice vigorously."
그런데 기독교인들은 그 말을 믿지 않고
But the Christians doesn't believe that.
예수께서는 다 나를 따르라고 하는 얘기는 내가 고행을 하니까 나처럼 고행을 하면은 모든 사람들은 안에서 다 하나님을 만날 수 있다고 말씀하신 건데 그거를 이해 못하고선 구존을 통해서 옆구리에 구존을 끼고선 말로 글자리로서 행했기 때문에 세상은 굉장히 어지럽다고 생각합니다. 제 자신은.
Whereas the Christians misunderstood what Jesus taught. He says basically, if you do the aesthetic practice, and you will eventually find the God in your mind. However, the Christian rely on words, and that's how the world became chaotic.
따라서 신은 존재하지 않습니다라고 저는 지금까지 생각하고 있습니다.
Therefore, I believe the God is not exist.
왜냐하면은 우리 인간이 모두가 다 신이기 때문에 그렇습니다.
Because we all human beings are gods.
그것도 한 개, 두 개의 신이 아니라
I'm not talking about one or two gods.
그것도 한 개나 두 개의 신이 아니라 천백억 화연의 신을 가지고 있습니다.
Many transformed bodies, millions of transformed bodies. That's how I believe it.
그래서 우리 모든 종교들은
Therefore, all the religions,
각자 신의 이름은 틀리더라도
although their gods' names are different,
자기 안에 있는 신을 믿게
they should have
되면
believed their own gods in their mind.
아까 말씀하신
As you told
참회라든가
us,
세계의 평화는 분명히 이루어질
truth
것입니다.
and that the world peace will come.
어제 보니까
Yesterday,
이스라엘이 아랍의 그 빌딩을 공격해서 많은 사람이 죽었습니다.
there was a war. The Israeli attacked Gaza, and then there was a building actually exploded.
그 원인은 바로
The causes,
유일신을 믿기 때문에 그런 겁니다.
they believe their own God.
저는 지금 그러한 것을
Now,
운동하기 위해서 사실은 공부를 해왔습니다.
in order to understand that, I have been studying.
자, 그러면
Now,
이제 그 제가 유산소에 와서 너무나 감동적인
I
것은
came to Wei Mountain Temple. What really impressed me,
대부분의 절들은 기도를 많이 하시는데 유산소는
other temples do a lot of praying.
많은 분들에게
However, Wei Mountain Temple
비밀을 가르쳐 줍니다.
teaches the secret
그래서 저는
practice.
마스터한테 늘 고맙게 생각합니다.
So I was really grateful to you, Master.
예, 이상 감사합니다.
That's all. Thank you very much.
I can't say it better than that. But thank you. Let me summarize the verses for today, and then we no more questions, okay? Or comments. Let me summarize the teaching here. He says, you should know, verse 1, you should know there's nothing true at all. Okay? Therefore, don't insist on anything as being true. Whether it's capitalism or whether it's socialism, whatever, don't insist it's to be true. That's all he's saying. Okay? The word is to insist. Okay? So the nature of Buddhism is that, you see, this patriarch here is a living proof. He has wisdom. He says nothing true. But he spent his entire life dealing with people who are looking at everything to be true. You know what I mean? Okay? So what is it telling you? That Buddhism, if you have wisdom, you're able to embrace the false as well as the true. So don't be alarmed. You understand, Sabina? You may not get it right now. It's okay. You see the good feelings, the falsehood feeling are true to you. There's nothing wrong with that. We can live with that until one day when you're ready, you'll be able to rise above it. That's all. Well, that's a nice thing about Buddhism, is that we're able to embrace your being wrong instead of condemning you and say, you are so confused. You are not worth it. You are phony. Okay, and so forth. Okay, there's no need for that. Okay? So that's why we're going to have a nation, a new club called Mahayana Nation, where membership is very affordable. You understand? So that's what, this is a message of love, if you will, Daniel, where we can embrace you. So wrong, and yet we can embrace you. Okay? This is what Mahayana is about. That this great teacher sees the truth, but he can accept that our false world, our confusion, he can accept it. And that's the truth. His truth includes our confusion. Does it help? The truth is that it has to include our confusion. In his truth there, okay, whatever truth he has here, includes our confusion. It's no rejection whatsoever. We embrace it, embrace everything. All right? No need to discriminate. Does it help? Okay? In particular, the next two verses, if you insist on something being true, Daniel, pay attention. That insistence is not advisable, because it's not good for you. Okay? It's your choice. You say, I believe and I believe and believe. Okay? That's fine. Okay? But eventually, you will be disappointed. That's all. You find out. So it's just like when you get there, you say, I told you so. Remember? I told you so. That's what he's saying. We're not imposing our wills on anyone. We're not saying you're false, I'm true, and you are so inferior, I know better, and so forth. We embrace it all. It's okay. If you like tacos, nothing wrong with that. You like vegetarian, nothing wrong with that. You like onion and garlic, nothing wrong with that. You embrace it all. You know, that's what Buddhism is about. Buddhism is not, we're not saying that monks cannot eat onion and garlic. The monks and nuns will eat onion and garlic. We embrace that as part of the Sangha. Okay? So the truth about Buddhism includes all the false as well. Okay? Only Mahayana, I find, if you have wisdom, you're able to embrace them all. And when your wisdom is not enough, that's when you have to reject in order to maintain your sanity, your self-confidence. Your self-confidence, your superiority is based on someone being wrong, someone being inferior to you. True or false? All right. Thank you, everyone.